You're going to be consigned to history once your network no longer trusts you. Projects that are practically laden with prestige captivate me. Since thieves and police officers look similar, there isn't much to learn about the intricacies of committing or investigating crimes. I want to take part in it. However, I'll be damned if I can convince myself to accept it as a man. I constantly strive to show people because my purpose is to enrich and expand the diversity of African American personalities on television. I'm not a talented enough vocalist to carry off the look. If I lived in Leh, I believe I would work a little bit more. And because it's not my style, I felt it was the best way for me to engage, even if listening while standing in the crowd is a great educational opportunity. Usually they are cookie-cutter, two-dimensional stereotypes. I will never be a stand-up comedian. I think complicated is a good thing. Why is repeating the same action so enjoyable? There's only so many times you can shackle a guy. Comedy has a lot of benefits, one of which is that it deals with extremely beautiful, enjoyable stuff. I have a thing for low-rated television. The remarkable emergence of unionism in the United States of America cannot be divorced from the Pullman borders. As an actor, I have a large reservoir of emotions that all rise when I give myself permission to do so. The Black Church and that. Every time I hear anything about Pericles, Prince of Tyre, I hum and cover my ears. All that matters is the number of scenes you will work on in a given day. Though I don't think I'm very intelligent, I will admit that it's obvious that some individuals want to go and others don't. I want to be careful not to compromise excellent content for my direction. Therefore, I would argue that's where the disparities are in terms of worldview. The police captain who identifies as homosexual will have a diverse range of reasons and personality traits. I wanted to do my part as effectively as I could. Being a smart parent and a clever thief, I believe, makes them mutually incompatible. My principles, my family life, and my dedication to the community and to everyone else have all improved. When Martin Luther King Jr. rewind to the Conan the Barbarian series, I thought it was great. I choose to do it instead. I've worked on some very good screenplays and some really bad scripts, and I think the most interesting thing is the leadership. I haven't read it because I'd rather attend a Shakespeare play whose plot I'm not familiar with. I had a lot going on, but only if I think my directing skills will enhance the content I'm working on. I'm encouraged, if not permitted, to explore feelings as an actor that have historically been deemed inappropriate in my life. I must take part. In my perspective, the difference is significant. These days, my community occupies more of my thoughts than myself. I belong to a race that is highly prized and complicated. The part when James Cromwell drives a stake into my chest is the only scary moment. Led the march on Washington as a kid, I was curious about what was happening. As a result, I put a lot of effort into trying to grasp the character's thoughts because, above all, I want to know why he acts in the way that he does. I get 1,000 invitations to parties. Do I accept them? No, I don't. You can only steer the trajectory of a series and ensure its success if you are privy to the discussions and a part of the production crew. In my opinion, the program portrays a world that is not fair at all, but you get what you give. Going to the opposite side of the planet was a terrific experience. The civil rights movement and all of the advancements gained in the 1940s and 1950s were organized around this same tiny core of individuals who eventually numbered in the tens of thousands. Eventually, the homosexual police commander will be singing the YMCA while sporting hot pants. People often lament the lack of time on television, but I have to point out that there isn't any more time to make feature films than there is on television. In the end, I avoided danger. I'm determined to become the best straight guy there is. My boys should be able to communicate their emotions about things. I've always enjoyed a good horror movie. The march was a labor of love for me, but I wasn't actually standing in the throng watching and listening because I was too busy passing out flyers for the National Association of Black Social Workers. I spent a lot of time at the library as an engineering student, and nobody cheers you on when you complete your calculations. I simply chopped it all off because I was sick of going to the barber to keep my fade together. It's imperative, utterly imperative. I've made an effort as a parent to provide my kids access to a more varied and profound emotional existence than I had. The character's mentality is crucial, in my opinion. It proved to be quite a punch, however. Apart from that, regretfully, there aren't enough human African American characters on television nowadays. I understood that I would need to shift my perspective if I wanted to have a more significant influence and appear on a program that viewers would regularly watch. Men are often reserved when it comes to sharing their feelings. We were ghetto residents. I wanted to be free. When it comes to creating a presentation that is both elegant and enjoyable, sophisticated, and has the potential to stay, leadership is by far the most crucial attribute. I would be delighted to be involved in the project if the screenplay is strong and the narrative intriguing. I didn't give it much thought. I had the pleasure of collaborating with many different individuals, including Josh Lucas, with whom I had previously collaborated on a prototype project called The Class of '61, and Kurt Russell. I could have acted like I wasn't a square and was rough or tough.